Surprise! We've got new gear to talk about here on the channel because that never happens. That's a complete lie. And in fact, today I'm going to share the most anticipated gear that I look forward to using for my trips in the year of 2023. But the first thing that I want to talk about is a new awesome sleeping bag that I've already had a chance to use for a weekend trip, and this is the Nemo Rift. It's got a high fill power down inside of it. It's a spoon shape, so it's going to be way more comfortable for side sleeping, for just basically eliminating that claustrophobic feeling that you get from a mummy bag. This thing is really cool, and I've already enjoyed the one weekend that I've had out with this bag. So look forward to more information on that. But then I've got a new pillow. This is the Nemo Pillow. This is a pillow that I kind of wrote off as a good option because it just seemed kind of bulky and big compared to my Sea to Summit Eros Premium. I gotta say, I've been missing out on really good quality sleep by not using this pillow. The one night that I've had on this so far, I slept so good and really enjoy the memory foam that is in this. So I can't wait to put this through the paces as well, share my experience in comparison to years of experience with the Eros Premium, and just say which one makes more sense for side sleeping, for the weight, all of those things. The next is a chair. This is the Big Agnes Skyline UL backpacking chair. This thing has already become a favorite piece of gear because if you paid attention to the channel, I've had one of these in the past, but I genuinely missed using this chair on my trips, and so I purchased another one. The only downside to this is it's 150 bucks. Like, it is not a cheap chair, but for the comfort, for the increased height, just everything about this chair is fantastic, and I am going to make this my go-to for 2023. I've got a few new stoves from FireMaple. If you guys are familiar with FireMaple, you will know that they come in at a really nice price point. And so I purchased the Burn stove recently off of Amazon, and this was under $30. And I thought, I've used a lot of expensive or higher end focused stoves over the past year. I want to try some more budget friendly stoves. And so the Burn is one of those stoves that I look forward to using, really putting through the test and to see how it compares to things like the Pocket Rocket or the Soto Amicus. So this one here, this is the Polaris. This has a regulator in it, similar to what you would see from the Soto Windmaster or the Pocket Rocket Deluxe. And it's also got a very similar design on the burner as those two stoves that I mentioned. And I've already been using this out in some winter settings, and it does a decent job. Canisters are not perfect in really cold temperatures, but I've been happy with it so far. Gonna put it through the paces. And then this guy right here, the Hornet 2 from FireMaple, is something that I really look forward to using in comparison to the others that we've looked at so far today. And if you recall from my best and worst gear of 2023, I talked about the NOC Vecto water bag being a consistent issue for me. And after I put that video out, I noticed on Instagram, as well as one of you left a comment letting me know that NOC has released a more burly version of the Vecto called the Vecto X. Got this in the mail. I purchased it a couple weeks ago and haven't put it through the test yet, but this is a much thicker material, and my hope is that the X is the solution for me for eliminating pinhole leaks and just lasting for a really long time. But then, this is a rain jacket that I've had for several months, but here in Utah, it decides not to rain for long periods of time. So this is the Outdoor Vitals Tusher rain jacket, and I'm hoping to spend a lot more time in the mountains this year, and that means that I'm likely to spend a bit more time in the rain, and a high quality rain jacket is something that I really needed to replace for one that I had just basically run to the ground. It was dead. And so excited to be putting the Tusher or the Tusher rain jacket from Outdoor Vitals to use and see how it compares to like the Outdoor Research Helium or the Ortovox Civetta or other rain jackets that I've been using in years past. Let's talk about a tent that I've already shared here on the channel. However, I've not been able to sleep in it yet. It was a first impressions look at the Nemo Hornet Elite Osmo two-person tent. Honestly, first impressions of this are not super positive for various reasons. You can go back and watch that video, but I do still look forward to putting this through all of the testing that I would normally do to make sure that this is a good option or not a good option for various conditions in backpacking, et cetera, et cetera. So the Nemo Hornet Elite Osmo, we are going to really put through the test this year, see how it compares to other options that I've got, Dyneema options or even Seal Poly, Seal Nylon options like this, and see how it does for backpacking in such a lightweight but expensive package. That is a huge con for me, is the price of this thing. Way too expensive. Let's talk about the most anticipated, the most exciting piece of gear that I cannot wait, and I have already been thoroughly enjoying for the 2 trips that I've been able to take this out on, the Durston X-Mid 2 Pro. But I have to say, this thing has already been massively impressive. I wanted to not like this tent because I had purchased the Generation 2 one-person standard X-Mid tent. I set it up in the yard and I was like, this thing is way too narrow for the inside like tent body, and then the size of the footprint for a one-person tent was massive. And so I actually ended up selling it. Like, I wasn't that excited about it. Then I was like, hey Dan, can I check out the Pro? And he was like, yeah man, let's do it. So I've been already putting this through the test down in the desert, in the snow, really trying to get my bearings around what is the best use cases for this tent, what are the pros and cons, and I can't wait to share this with you guys, do a full review. But I do have to say that of everything else that I've got here, this is in my top 3, possibly top 2 tents that I've ever used over the recent years. Seriously, this thing is really cool. That is my list of the most anticipated gear that I look forward to using for my trips in 2023. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hope you have an awesome day. Catch you in the next one. See you later.